So I've seen rumors swirl. I have not seen any facts yet, and so I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this: the Manhattan District Attorney is a Soros-funded prosecutor, and so he, like other Soros-funded prosecutors, they weaponize their office to impose a political agenda.
Hey, what's going on, folks? We have a great show for you this Monday morning. Chinese nationals appear at the border. In this video from Fox, apparently Chinese migrants being caught at the southern border has skyrocketed over 700% during the last quarter. We'll talk about it. This CNN correspondent had her car broken into in San Francisco, despite the fact that she had private security. So shocking. We'll go through that tale. And Ron DeSantis responds to the arrest of Donald Trump. People seem upset. Some like it. Let me know what you think. We'll listen to that full clip. And Donald Trump deleted from Truth Social something about Ron DeSantis in the future being unfairly and illegally attacked by a woman or possibly a man. We'll read that and dive into that story. It's gonna be a fun show, folks. The show starts now. It's the Dream Rare Podcast. Welcome to the show. The way to get the news at the desk or on the road. Let's go. God is great and success in our control. The world is crazy, but we get better from obstacles. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of the live podcast. I have three stories. The last story is going to be DeSantis' response to Trump's arrest. And also Trump is basically pointing out a picture of Ron DeSantis partying with underage girls. So we're going to talk about that because Trump keeps bringing that up to Ron, and just talk about basically the national conversation around that situation. That's the third story. Before I get to that, I want to get to two stories real quick. The Chinese nationals at the U.S. border, and then also this San Francisco theft on CNN. That's pretty interesting. It was a mostly peaceful robbery, but it was a robbery. First story is, I'm going to breeze through it. It's pretty quick. Fox provided that video I played at the beginning where there's Chinese nationals at the U.S. border. It's up 700% in the last quarter. It's just very bizarre. It's not Mexico. It's not South America. I know a lot of left-wingers say, oh, these people just want to come and work and, they're just trying to come to America. Chinese people from China are coming to America just to work through the U.S. border. It doesn't sound very believable. What's going on there? People from all over the world are coming across our border, and I know my audience understands this because they're not stupid, but in order to have a country, it's good to secure your borders, especially when you're essentially waging war on Russia. They're doing trade deals behind our back in China, etc. And we just have a wide open border that the entire world is exploiting. I wish Democrats were smarter, and I wish that they secured the border because millions of people are coming across, including people from China. There's really not more to that story. Common sense. We're at war with a foreign country in another country, funding a proxy war, and we just have our border open to whoever wants to come across. It's a lot different than just being like, oh, it's just Mexicans, you're so racist. That's such a stupid fake narrative. I pray that people wake up and we have a strong country again where the border is actually secure. Second story I want to talk about, it's this whole Twitter thread I'm going to read. A CNN journalist had private security in San Francisco, and she got robbed for a second time because San Francisco, excuse my language, is a blank hole. I mean, it's a beautiful people there. It used to be a nice city. It's just like falling apart. It's disgusting. And the same people that push Democrat policies to their television are just getting robbed over and over and over again. And they just can't figure it out. It's like, haha, I just got robbed in San Francisco. Like, everybody's getting robbed, but go vote for the same people that... It's so stupid. But her name is Kyung La. Kyung La is a CNN senior national correspondent. She said, got robbed again. Jason, CNN, and I were at City Hall in San Francisco to do an interview for CNN. We had security to watch our rental car and crew car. Thieves did this in under 4 seconds. Security stopped the jerks from stealing other bags, but seriously, this is ridiculous. So it's so bad in San Francisco that this lady has private security to watch her car, which you shouldn't need. You shouldn't need private security to watch your car when you park. She has private security to watch her car, but even the private security can't stop the theft in San Francisco because it's that fast. It's insane. Let's go. Our hired security guard tried to grab the crooks. I'm glad he didn't get hurt, but he got a picture of the getaway car. To the jerks who stole our stuff, I hope someone on this site sees your plate and you get caught. Thank you to the police officer who helped. San Francisco's a beautiful city, she says. This is our third day here and I've loved my time here. But if you do visit the city, know that even with hired security watching your car, it's not enough. Now I'm about to try to get on Southwest Air flight to Los Angeles without an ID or passport since they were both stolen. I'll let you know how that goes, she says. By the way, Jason, CNN, and I are in San Francisco doing a story about voter discontent because of rampant street crime. Because so many people get their cars broken into and their bags stolen, Southwest Air was very used to my lack of ID problem and smoothly gave me my ticket after a brief security check off the TSA now. Well, a few things to pick up there. First of all, crime is so bad in San Francisco that the airlines are used to people not having their passport and their ID because they've gotten stolen. The second thing, that's kind of creep. Like everybody has an ID at a airport, but you could fly without an ID. I just had a friend, a producer friend of mine, who was supposed to do a show overseas in Europe, and he got shut down at the airport by some lady because his passport was damaged. So he can't get on a plane with a damaged passport that's 100% legitimate, but they're allowing people to fly without identification in America. What's the point of having ID security if you don't even need your ID? Well, the reason we don't check ID, we don't check ID when you go vote for a Democrat or a Republican in a Democrat area. They don't need an identification to vote. You need an identification to fly, but not if you got it stolen. Here's a crazy idea. How about we just don't let people get robbed all the time, and then you don't need to. It just makes no sense. Incredible stuff. But it was a mostly peaceful robbery. God bless that lady from CNN. I hope she recovers from the mostly peaceful robbery. And that just shows you how bad San Francisco is. You can't even park your car with private security without getting robbed. Are people paying attention? Is the media going to report this stuff? Are they going to stop brainwashing people into thinking it's cool to live in a city with crime and trash and poop and pee everywhere? Can we resurrect America? Can we make it great like it was 15 years ago? No? I don't know. That's the story. I'm going to move on. The people spamming in the comment section, I mean, I don't usually do a moderator, but I mean, I'll block people and get one if I have to. Just stop spamming. Are you 5 years old? Grow up. You know what I'm saying? You're on Twitter. There's somebody saying dumb Trump and somebody saying Trump 2024, just like both sides spamming. Like, grow up. It's like Bobby and Susie on the playground just yelling at each other, ruining it for everybody. Ha 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 ha. So cool. Not. Anyway, God bless you guys. Appreciate you for being here. But I'm going to play this clip of Ron DeSantis, and then I have a lot to say. But first, you know, everybody on Twitter that I follow was complaining like DeSantis needs to respond. If he doesn't respond, he's ruined for presidency. What's he going to say to the Trump arrest that is allegedly happening Tuesday? We'll see. Here's his response, almost in full. I'm going to play a couple minutes and then I'll probably cut it off. But here's what DeSantis said about Trump being arrested in Florida. In New York. Let me know what you think, and I'll read some comments as well. Here it is.
We wanted to know what your thoughts are on the rumored Trump indictment, and if you have any role in it. If charges are brought on him, will you have any role in extradition to New York?
So I've seen rumors swirl. I have not seen any facts yet, and so I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this. The Manhattan District Attorney is a Soros-funded prosecutor. And so he, like other Soros-funded prosecutors, they weaponize their office to impose a political agenda on society at the expense of the rule of law and public safety. He has downgraded over 50% of the felonies to misdemeanors. He says he doesn't want to even have jail time for the vast, vast majority of crimes. And what we've seen in Manhattan is we've seen the crime rate go up, and we've seen citizens become less safe. And so you're talking about this situation with, and look, I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to is that if you have a prosecutor who is ignoring crimes happening every single day in his jurisdiction, and he chooses to go back many, many years ago to try to use something about porn star hush money payments, you know, that's an example of pursuing a political agenda and weaponizing the office. And I think that that's fundamentally wrong. I also think it's important to point out when you're talking about these Soros-funded prosecutors, yes, they may do a high-profile politicized prosecution, and that's bad, but the real victims are ordinary New Yorkers, ordinary Americans in all these different jurisdictions, that they get victimized every day because of the reckless political agenda that these Soros DAs bring to their job. They ignore crime and they empower criminals, and that hurts people, hurts a lot of people every single day. These Soros district attorneys are a menace to society, and I'm just glad that I'm the only governor in the country that's actually removed one from office during my tenure. And in terms of, we are not involved in this, won't be involved in this. I have no interest in getting involved in some type of manufactured circus by some Soros DA, okay? He's trying to do a political spectacle. He's trying to virtue signal for his base. I've got real issues I got to deal with here in the state of Florida. We're obviously shutting down CBDC, which is important. We've got so many things pending in front of the legislature. I've got to spend my time on issues that actually matter to people. I can't spend my time worrying about things of that nature. So we're not going to be involved in it in any way. I'm fighting for Floridians, and I'm fighting back against Biden. That's what I do every single day. Yep.
Sorry, I was getting a drink of water. All right, so for those who don't know, so I don't know why I said so weird. For those who don't know why that sign said the digital dollar, he's basically trying to stop the central bank digital dollar. So that's the press conference he did today, saying the central bank digital dollar has no place in Florida. And, you know, like he does every week, he picks a new topic and kind of fights back on it. So that's, to me, that's really important, but nobody's going to talk about that today because of the Trump and DeSantis drama. And I think that says something about actual topics. Nobody really cares about, like, oh, you're stopping the central bank digital dollar. Cool, but, like, what about the Trump thing? Here's what Trump said on True Social. Ron will probably find out about this sometime in the future when he's unfairly and illegally attacked by a woman or possibly a man with false accusations. And then he deleted that, and then he reposted this. This is Trump on True Social. He said, Ron DeSanctimonious will probably find out about false accusations and fake stories sometime in the future as he gets older, wiser, and better known when he is unfairly and illegally attacked by a woman, even classmates that are underage, or possibly a man. I'm sure he will want to fight these misfits just like I do. And then Trump shared a story from Midas Touch, which I think is like, I don't know who they are, if they're left-wing or right-wing, maybe left-wing. And the story that Trump shared on True Social was exclusive. Ron DeSantis partied with underage girls at a drinking party while teaching at a Georgia school. So that's Trump's response to what DeSantis said, is like, you know, basically pointing out that he had drinks or something with underage chicks, or a story about that with a picture or something. Here's what I'm going to say. I have a lot to say about this. I want to start rewinding back before I give into my opinion. I see a lot of people, and this is just my perspective, they're saying this ends it for DeSantis because he doesn't answer to Trump, or this is that. To me, there's going to be 100 different stories over the next year. People's opinions are going to change 100 times. Like, I'm not going to sit and say Trump's done or DeSantis is done. You could feel that, you could think that, but I see a lot of like influencers saying, oh, he's done. DeSantis is done because he didn't answer Trump quick enough. And maybe that's true. I have no idea, but I feel like there's going to be so many different stories in the next year that to say that he's done just because he didn't do one thing people want him to do, I don't buy into that. You know, I think it's over a year until we vote. And if you think about 2020, in January, there was no such thing as COVID, at least in people's consciousness. It wasn't like a whole lockdown. And so to say, oh, Trump's done because of this policy in January, it's like there's going to be a new narrative. There's going to be a new story. There's going to be a new crisis. There's going to be 20 new crises before anybody even watches Trump and DeSantis debate. So that's just my personal opinion. To say that he's done, it sounds good if you believe that, but remember 8 months before the 2020 election, there was no COVID lockdown. So to say to pick a topic and say, oh, Trump's done or Trump's going to win over this topic when the main topic that shifted the election wasn't even there yet. I don't think that's how politics work. I think people have a short attention span. It's like saying Ye's done because of what he did. Oh, Ye's done. In 3 months, people forget about it. He'll be on to the next thing. So I don't particularly see DeSantis answering to Trump as like he's finished. I think there's going to be a lot more unveiled. With that being said, and I want to know your opinion too, do you think there's a disconnect between the influencers and the people that do media, like myself and like people on Twitter, like people who do shows and podcasts? Do you think there's a disconnect between the people that are in politics on the media side and the voters? I'm starting to think that gap's getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, a lot of us got into this game because it was like the media's lying, the media is corrupt, they don't represent the people, they're psychotic, they're insane, and the gap between like CNN and the people is enormous. It's like so big that we all got into this trying to do our own thing. Now, I'm in that world that I'm reading a lot of tweets by different people that I follow, that I respect, that I like, right-wingers mostly, some left-wingers, but and I feel like there's a huge disconnect, not just between the media like CNN and Fox News and the people, but I think the disconnect is growing, in my view, between like influencers that are like, we're outsiders, we represent the people, but I think that gap is growing because I think people are so caught up in their world, like Trump world or this world, that they're starting to become the media that we used to hate. And I'm not saying everybody's perfect. I'm not saying we don't make mistakes. But I don't want to get caught in this world because I'm reading all this stuff and I'm like, is this how all Trump supporters feel, or is this how all conservatives feel, or DeSantis people? I don't really think so. But we'll find out during the election. But everyone I'm following is like, it's over. It's over because DeSantis didn't say this. And I'm like, I'm just asking questions. I'm confused at what you want him to do. Trump, every second Trump gets, it's low blow, low blow, low blow. I'm not saying you have to disagree with it. Maybe you hate DeSantis. Maybe you like sloppy politics that aren't about policy and it's more about like just, give him a scandal and get him out of my way. Because that's what Trump's trying to do to DeSantis, essentially. And that's what Democrats are trying to do to Trump, right? To me, that's annoying. I want a president that's going to be good. I don't need a Kardashian show. But that's what they make politics. They made a Kardashian show over Trump. They're making one over DeSantis. It's not about what people are doing. It's more about like, get him out of my way so I can win. Let's ruin him. I don't like that, but it seems to be popular. With that being said, I don't understand what everyone's thinking, and I'm trying to be thoughtful about it because I don't really care how you vote. Like, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to hate you over it. But Trump gives like 100 low blows to DeSantis, right? That's what he does. He's been tweeting things about him with a picture of him with underage chicks when he was a teacher. He's been calling him Ron sanctimonious. He's saying that he really doesn't do anything in Florida. He's not that good. You'd be fine with a Democrat. Trump does all these low blows. And then on Twitter, everybody's saying if DeSantis doesn't have Trump's back, like now, he's done. He's done if he doesn't say something to have Trump's back. So he says something a day later, but DeSantis waits to unveil it for his digital currency. I don't know what he's thinking, but my guess is DeSantis feels like it's more important to fight the central bank digital currency and to represent his people than he does to like jump in a conversation on a Saturday. Like he waits, he shows what he actually is working on, then he answers. DeSantis takes a jab at Trump, right? He's like, I don't know about this porn star stuff. You could say that his response was weak. He didn't fully have Trump's back. He's just like, it's not my deal. I do my thing. I understand why people would be upset, but it's like in my head, I'm just wondering what people really want. It's like Trump low blows DeSantis 1,000 times. DeSantis low blows Trump one time, and then people say, well, that's it. It's over for him. I call this, and maybe it's deserved. You could let me know what you think. I obviously have my opinions, but I call it like the Trump standard. Trump is held to different standards than anybody in politics. Some would say he deserves it. Trump earned that respect where it's like he's a Tom Brady type character. He can make more mistakes than everyone else and he'll still get a pass. Or he's a Conor McGregor. He just is a draw. It doesn't matter what he says or does. But I'm noticing something called the Trump standard, which I can't help but notice. For example, if Marjorie Taylor Greene endorses McCarthy, it's the end of her political career. She's ruined. She's screwed. Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene's terrible. I've seen people like attacking her personally, whatever. They're going crazy hard at Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's ruined because she backed DeSantis, or she backed Kevin McCarthy. But then there's something called the Trump standard, where it's like when Trump does that, it doesn't matter. He's held to a higher standard than Marjorie Taylor Greene, than DeSantis. It's like, if Trump does 1,000 low blows, that's fine. If DeSantis does a low blow, he's done. If Trump doesn't say anything, whatever. If DeSantis doesn't say anything, he can't be president. I call it the Trump standard. It's like Trump is not held to the same standards as everyone else. And I'm just wondering, like, what do people want DeSantis to do? He's ignoring it mostly. He says it sometimes. But Trump obviously hates DeSantis now. He's low-blowed him 1,000 times. He's trying to get him out of the race. He's basically trying to remove him from the race, get him on an ethics violation. He's essentially suggesting he might be a pedophile or gay. You know, Trump is taking very, very low blows. And then DeSantis says one thing, but it's DeSantis' fault for taking a low blow, but not Trump's fault for doing it. Like, as a man, what would you do? Are you supposed to just cuck to Donald Trump? I'm just curious what you guys think and what other people think, because I don't understand, and I don't even care who people vote for. I'm not going to make my decision and say this is who I'm voting for in a year. The story's going to change 1,000 times. Me personally, I don't want this Kardashian drama. I want to know, is Donald Trump going to hire pharmacy lobbyists or not? Is DeSantis going to hire neocons, or is he going to hire outsiders? Is DeSantis a person who executes more than Trump and Trump just talks more? Is DeSantis going to fold under the donors like Trump did? This is what I want to know. Who are you going to be in office? But apparently it's going to be this like Kardashian drama game back and forth where nothing gets done, nothing gets solved, and people just try to tear down someone's character instead of actually demanding that their politicians do better. But I feel like I'm alone, and I'm wondering with you guys, what I see is mostly influencers. But I'm starting to think that disconnect between the influencers and the people is getting as wide as it was with the media. That's why everyone got into this. I'm representing the people. I'm going to do a better job. I'm not Fox News. I'm not CNN. I'm going to do a better job of telling the truth. I'm going to do a better job of doing activism. And I feel like that disconnect's getting huge. I know personally, like, I went live on Instagram, and there's mostly love, and I appreciate everybody. But one guy was getting mad at me. He was like, you know, a patriot or whatever. And he was like, you disagree with Trump. Who do you think you are? Like, do you think you know better than him about a topic? And then I figured out the difference between me and this guy, and the difference between me and a lot of quote unquote influencers is I call what I do news analysis. I don't care what you call it. I don't have an ego. Influencer, social media, news reporter, journalist. Titles don't matter to me. I call it news analysis, but I don't do professional dick riding. Excuse my language. I'm not a dick rider, and I'm not a professional team fanboy. I'm not a mini-me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a professional bobblehead. That's not what I do. That's never what I did. When I back Trump, I mean it. I do the report. I show the analysis. I tell you why the Democrats are lying about Russia collusion. If both parties are sold out to Big Pharma, I show you why. And the reason I do that is because I don't want America to fall to Big Pharma tyranny. So I've started to realize that certain people get upset with me because everyone plays a different role. Some people are operatives. Some people are professional dick riders. Some people are journalists. Some people are news analysts. Some people don't really have a stance, you know, and that's okay. Everybody could play their role, but I think people think that's what I am. I'm like, I'm doing news analysis. If DeSantis does something crazy, I'm not a professional DeSantis fan. I'm going to call out the bullshit and be like, that's whack. Like, maybe he will sell out to donors. He's taking donor money. Everybody sells out to donors. Am I supposed to think DeSantis isn't going to sell out? I like certain things he did, but the chances of him selling out are higher than him not selling out, but we'll see. Same with Trump. It's like, we'll see. You know, time will tell all. My opinion doesn't matter. The truth matters. But most people are not like that. You know, so it's like, I'm just trying to figure out what everyone's doing, because it's like Trump low blows DeSantis 1,000 times, right? Is trying to get him out of the race, is doing personal attacks, is saying you're better off with a Democrat. Like, Trump, it will try to destroy DeSantis at whatever he has to do, he'll do. Just like the media does to Trump, just like the liberals do to Trump, that's the stance Trump is taking on DeSantis. Get him out of my way. I don't care what it takes. I don't care about policy. I don't care what he does. Blame him for everything. Get a personal attacks, find people to talk shit about him, find pictures from his past. Trump is doing to DeSantis what the media does to Trump. That's just what's happening. You might agree with it. You might be like, I don't like DeSantis, so I want Trump to do that to him. Whatever your opinion is, that's what's happening. That's the angle. So with Trump doing that to DeSantis, is DeSantis supposed to like Trump? Like, would you like someone if they did that to you? And then vice versa. It's like, is DeSantis not supposed to run for president because Trump's the king and, he should just wait his turn? I get what people are coming from, but I really don't understand where it's like people are saying in the influencer class, if DeSantis doesn't say anything this moment, he's screwed. He's ruined. Why? I don't get it. But here's the thing. My opinion is one vote, right? I'm one Republican voter. The truth is, perception matters. If 80% of people like Trump more than DeSantis, that's what matters. If 50% of people like DeSantis more than Trump, that's what matters. My opinion only matters so much. My influence, my reach, my vote. But I'm well aware that if everybody feels this way and wants to vote for this character or this politician, then that is what matters. It's an election. It's based on the net sum. But what I'm asking today is the influencer class representing the voters? They seem to say DeSantis is done because he didn't have Trump's back enough. And then he comes out, says something about the Soros DA, takes a jab at Trump. Trump basically is trying to get him with like underage stuff. And they're like, DeSantis is ruined. He has to have Trump's back. He does? Because Trump doesn't have DeSantis's back, and you could say DeSantis didn't have Trump's back. It's like, I don't understand the Trump rule. I just don't get it. If a Democrat works with pharmacy lobbyists, they're corrupt. If Trump hires pharmacy lobbyists, it's not his fault. If he hires Scott Gottlieb, who paves the way for Pfizer and leaves to go to Pfizer, which he did, it's not Trump's fault. If Trump hires a pharmacy lobbyist to, take a position even higher than Fauci, which he did, take $1 million from Pfizer, which he did, it's not his fault. When Trump backs McCarthy, it doesn't matter. But when Marjorie Taylor Greene does it, we have to destroy her life. When Trump does 1,000 low blows, it's just who he is. When DeSantis does one, he's ruined. He should never do that. Like, I don't understand it. I'm just gonna say that. It's like I get it. I guess that's just the way politics is. It's an ugly game, and this is what the influencer class seems to want. Trump can hang out with Lindsey Graham. That's okay. If he's on stage with Lindsey Graham, it's whatever. But when Ron DeSantis hangs out with neocons, it's disqualifying. I don't understand it. The influencer class is trying to say DeSantis is done. You can't like him. It's all Trump. This is my question to the people. Is that how the people feel, or is that how the influencers feel? Because I think there's a disconnect there, but I have no idea. And this is what I'll say, and then I'm going to read some comments. I want, personally, DeSantis and Trump to challenge each other because I want them each to bring out the best. I like the fact that DeSantis is talking about digital currency and shutting it down. That's good. I like the fact that DeSantis is looking into the schools. That's good. I like the fact that Trump is against the Ukraine war. That's good. And if that influences DeSantis to be less of a war hawk, that's good. This is my one concern with Trump, obviously. When DeSantis is less of a war hawk because he learns from Trump, people point to DeSantis and say, oh, DeSantis is just copying Trump. Well, that's a good thing. You want DeSantis to be not a war hawk. Whatever the reason is, when DeSantis does something right, it doesn't seem like it influences Trump to do the right thing. Like Trump just wants to destroy his life. He doesn't want to learn. Like on the subject of vaccines and mandates, I understand Trump's against the mandates, but it doesn't seem like Trump's the type of person to learn, like iron sharpens iron. I'm going to learn and be better this time. To me, Trump is like a left-winger now. Not totally, but like, let's just destroy this guy's life, get him out of the way, and who cares what's good or not. I'm the guy. I'm the guy, not because I'm going to do the right thing. I'm the guy because I'm the guy. Destroy his life, do personal attacks, get him out of the way, talk shit, find scandals on him, get him out of my way. Okay, so are you going to do as good of a job hiring in the health department as DeSantis did? Because DeSantis hired better than Trump when it comes to the people around him in the health department. His Surgeon General is amazing. Jerome Adams is the biggest loser in the world. He has me blocked on Twitter, Trump's Surgeon General. I despise that guy. He's an idiot. That's who Trump hired. So I'm not being a hater. I just want to know, the same way DeSantis changes his policies to look like Trump, Trump should change his policies in some ways to show me that he's going to be different as a voter. But that's my vote. It seems like the influencers are get out of the way, DeSantis, Trump's the man, and he's just going to be different this time. Is that how people on the ground feel? Do people still like Trump that much? Do people like the fact that DeSantis just executes more and talks less? Or do they like the jabs, the all caps, the spelling errors, you know what I'm saying? That type. I don't know. I don't mind it, but it's just kind of like goofy to me. And it just, I don't see where it's going, but I'm totally aware that my vote is only one vote. It matters what Iowa thinks. It matters what Pennsylvania thinks. It matters what New Jersey thinks and Florida thinks and Georgia thinks in the Republican primary. It matters what California thinks. Like who are people going to vote for, Trump or DeSantis? That's what matters. To me, I don't see any of my issues with Trump getting addressed, and I just see him trying to steamroll DeSantis without learning a damn thing. And it's starting to make me realize that maybe this is just how the world works, right? Big bank take little bank. When a bank screws up, it's not fair, but life's not fair. When a bank screws up, it doesn't matter. But when you screw up, you might go to jail. But if a bank scams the whole world, it doesn't matter. You rob somebody, you go to prison. Big Pharma scams the entire planet, nothing happens. Politics, maybe that's what it is. Alpha guy rises to the top. Trump has gone through a lot of trials and tribulations as far as personal attacks. And now he's like Mega Man because anything they could have had on Trump, they would have done already. And it's like, what else can you really say that hasn't been said? So maybe now he's a superhuman and it's not about his policy. Maybe it's not about what he's going to do. It's just like he'll find personal things on DeSantis and try to ruin his career just like they tried to ruin Trump's career. Maybe that's just how it is. Maybe that's politics. Maybe it's an ugly game. Maybe people aren't interested in the truth. Maybe people aren't interested in doing better. They just want someone that talks. I'm at peace with it. I understand the world's not fair. I understand banks never get held accountable. I understand Big Pharma never gets held accountable. I understand that Republicans always pretend to cut the deficit and they always raise it. I understand Republicans pretend to be libertarians, but they govern like socialists. I understand Democrats are scammers and they're the worst out of the two. Maybe that's just the way it is, maybe things are never going to change and, you should find peace and joy in other parts of life and not politics. Black Conservative Patriot with the super chat. Thank you, brother. Said, I too get hate when I critique Trump, even though I volunteered on his campaign in 2016 and my show unabashedly is on the Trump train for 2024. Trump is weak on pharma and we have to be vocal about how wrong he is on this. Hey, Black Conservative Patriot, appreciate you. And that's what it is. I think that's a beautiful thing. You're like, I campaigned for him in 2016. I'm even voting for him in 2024. And even I get backlash when I talk about this. But thank you for doing it. And that's what it's all about. I think the base just needs to really ask him, who are you going to hire this time? Because we can't afford, this is my view, we can't afford another swamp cabinet. We just can't. If Trump wins, everybody, me, you, everybody, we have to demand you can't hire Alex Azar for HHS. You can't do that. You can't hire Scott Gottlieb for FDA, who went to Pfizer. All of the corruption in 2020, it's not random. Trump put a pharmacy lobbyist at HHS and Scott Gottlieb, who ran to Pfizer at FDA. Read some of the stuff they did from 2016 to 2020. It paved the way for all of the corruption. He put pharma guys at the top of government. It's not hating. He's got to not do that. Or if he does that, what's he going to flail his arms again and blame everybody else? It's like, thank you, Black Conservative Patriot. I appreciate you. And I pray that other supporters are like that because I just don't see anything changing unless that happens. And that's my one concern with the Trump versus DeSantis thing. I don't mind a good fight, but iron is supposed to sharpen iron. And with me, I don't think Trump is interested at all in changing anything. I think he just wants to destroy. The same way Democrats, get Trump out of my way. We're not going to fix our cities. We're not going to do better. We just need Trump out of the way at all costs. That's what they do. That's why they're so evil, because it's like they don't care about crime. They don't care about homelessness. All Democrats care about is destroying conservatives. And their cities are shitholes now. When you look at Trump, to me, he's got that same type of energy. I don't care. A Democrat could have won Florida. It's like New York is prosecuting you because of a Soros DA. DeSantis got rid of a Soros DA, and you basically fled to Florida, and now you're in Florida, And now you're saying that Charlie Crist could have done it anyway. What does he want? Andrew Gillum? You think Andrew Gillum would have had your back? You think they wouldn't have done what, New York's doing? To me, it's like a liberal who flees to Texas and then says, who cares? Just vote blue. Like, he's doing that same thing, but it's the Trump standard, right? Nothing matters. He endorses McCarthy. It's fine. Marjorie Taylor Greene endorses McCarthy. Ruin her life. Trump's on stage with Lindsey Graham. Whatever. He's just closer to Lindsey Graham than he ever has been before, but that's fine. DeSantis has a thing with Jeb Bush. It's over for him. Trump does 1,000 low blows. Oh, that's just Trump being Trump. DeSantis does a low blow. It's over for him. It's, in my opinion, it's turned into like a religion. It's no longer like a political movement. It's like a religion of sorts. And do I sound angry? Do I sound hateful? I understand that that's maybe just the way it is. And I'm not going to cry over it. I'm not going to fight with people for 2 years. I'm not going to scream back and forth at people that are supposed to be my friends. I don't care. Do I go into Scientologists and see what they're doing, or Mormons? I don't know what they're doing, but that's what they want to do. That's their religion. Maybe that's what politics is for people. Democrats, it's a religion, They don't want to work out. They don't want the truth. They don't want their cities better. They've pledged allegiance to a religion of hating Republicans. And maybe that's just the way they're going to stay. Maybe they're permanently broken. On the right, maybe that's what it is. Like, I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was foolish. I thought people actually wanted the truth. I thought some people were doing journalism. I thought the influencers were supposed to hold politicians accountable, but maybe not. Maybe it's more like the same with banks. Big bank take little bank. Big government take small government. Maybe that's just the way the world works, and that's how politics is going to work. They're going to put a scandal against DeSantis, take him out of Trump's way, and Trump gets to be the guy, despite the fact that he fell short last time, because it's not his fault. He's a victim. I don't know. It's a tough gig. It's a tough gig to run for president. It's tough to go through those scandals. It's tough to take all the media scorn. It's tough to have your own side beating down at you. You know what I'm saying? Your own side's trying to destroy your life worse than the media. It's a tough life, man. I don't envy it. I don't want it. I'm doing reporting and news analysis. I understand some people will be bothered, but like with the people that are bothered, this is what I do. If someone else wants to be a professional fan, that's fine. I said the other day to this guy, and he was laughing, everybody needs a bobblehead. Like Mini-Me, you ever watch, what was it called? Austin Powers? You got Austin Powers and you got Mini-Me. Everybody needs one. Everybody needs a bobblehead. But bobbleheads, I'm going to call them bobbleheads now. Bobbleheads come into my chat sometimes and get all mad at me because I'm not a bobblehead. I'm not mad at you for being a bobblehead, a professional bobblehead, but I'm doing news analysis and journalism. If you remember in 2020, when Trump said Sweden should have locked down, I told the truth. I don't think I know better about business than Donald Trump, but Trump was lying about that, just like he's lying about the vaccine, and I do news analysis and journalism. I get that the bobbleheads, they don't do news analysis and journalism, so they're professional copycats. Like, Trump says open up, they say open up. Trump says vaccine, they say vaccine. Trump says Sweden should have, they say, they're bobbleheads. It's just like bling, bling, bling. And then they get mad at me. I'm like, stay in your lane. Go sit on a desk somewhere and bounce your head up and down. I don't do that. So just respect the work that I do, and I'll respect the bobblehead. Someone said he should not be arrested. I 1,000% agree. I 1,000% agree. I just think it's going to be a misdemeanor. I don't see them really doing much. To me, it's just going to help them. It's going to help them fundraise. You already have, in my view at least, of what I see, people are saying, oh, this is it. Trump's going to win. Elon Musk says this is it. Trump's going to win. Isn't that just convenient? It's his election now. He won because he's going to get fake arrested, or they're going to do a misdemeanor. Where's that going to go? What are Democrats really trying to do? To me, it's like it's so easy to control people. It's so easy to control both sides. So, if people act predictable, then it's the hamster wheel is going to continue. I don't think he should be arrested, but to me, I'm not gonna like be like, oh, this settles it, I have to vote for him now. It's like if people are that predictable, then it just goes like that. Um, we'll see though. Someone said DeSantis agrees Trump should not be arrested. Good for him. Yeah, but at least in my view, maybe I follow too many influencers, but dude, people are like, this settles it. I was for DeSantis, but now it shows his true colors. I'm like, what do you want him to do? I don't get it. Trump nonstop talk shit about him, and you want him to like just lick Trump's shoes? I like what. It's just bizarre to me. I'm like, what do you want him to do? I get that he could have said something different, but I also see what he's doing. He's actually doing stuff, and he's not focused on that. Like, it's like Monday, I'm fighting digital currency. I'll talk about it, but this is what I'm doing. I wish Trump was more like that, honestly. Like, how many things is he going to say? Saying is cool, but doing is better. Like, if you say you're going to build a wall and you build 90% of it, I'd rather get the guy who's going to build 100% of it and talk about it twice as opposed to talking about it 1,000 times. And I'm not saying it's his fault. It's just like, this doesn't really faze me. But I guess, like, it's not up to me. What I'm trying to say is the truth. I could sit here and act like other people and say, my opinion matters so much. What I think about Trump matters. Everyone thinks like me. But the truth is, everyone doesn't think like me. My vote is one vote. So if 70% of Republicans want to vote for Trump, my opinion doesn't matter. I'll still do journalism and news analysis and try to get Trump to not sell out again. But if people want it, that's what you get. That's why I'm focused on my own life. If people want to just keep getting scammed by the banks, by Big Pharma, by both parties, by the same person who was there during the lockdown, that's your American right to keep getting scammed. I'm just like, I'm not going to sit and mope about it. Just like when Biden won. I'm not going to cry for 4 years. I got to keep doing my work. Like that, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but the truth is, what people who they decide to vote for, that matters, not everyone's opinion. I'm just wondering, and I'm going to read your comments now. Is the influencers who say DeSantis is toast and Trump is the guy because of how he handled it or whatever, this arrest, is that how the base feels? Or is that just how the influencers feel? I have no idea. And honestly, I don't think I'll officially know until the voting comes in. How are people going to vote? Are they still on the Trump train? Do they like DeSantis more? Let me know. Shay said the real issue is Soros-funded DAs, basically entire states. Here's another great question that I asked the End Wokeness page. If Soros is funding all these local elections, what is the RNC doing, right? Trump raised hundreds of millions of dollars for the January 6th thing. Where did that money go? People donate to Trump all the time. Where's that money going? People donate to the RNC and it goes to Ronna Romney McDaniel. Where is that money going? There's big donors on the right wing too. The Adelson family gives hundreds of millions of dollars. People don't know this, but the Adelson family gives even more money in some cases than George Soros does to the Democrats. Adelson gives to the Republicans. Where's all that money going? Is that going to, why not dump it into local DA? Does the Republican Party even fund this type of stuff to counter the Soros money? I don't think they do anything. I think the Republican donors give a bunch of money, and then Trump and DeSantis tap their heels, go kiss the wall in Israel, and pass speech laws. That's what I see. I see hundreds of millions of dollars dumped into the Republican Party, and they fly to a foreign country and infringe on the American First Amendment for their greatest ally. That's not hate speech. That's the truth. That's what Trump and DeSantis do. So why not use the donor money that they get to fund local elections? Because the donor money that they get, the donors aren't interested in local elections, in my opinion, or else they'd go there. So, if that's the problem needs to be countered. But this is what I'm trying to explain to people, at least what I see, about Republicans. They're professionals at pointing out the problem in the left, but when push comes to shove with it, they're doing 9 out of 10 of the same things. The left prints too much money. So do you. The left is corrupt with Big Pharma. So are you. The left funds local elections. Why don't you? You guys get a bunch of money. Where's all the money that you're getting going? There's politicians that got more money from Pfizer than I've ever got from any donation. You guys are taking the money too. But where's the other donor money going? Why not counter Soros? Because they don't care. or they're just not smart, or they're corrupt, or, they know that you'll vote for them. That's how it works. You're not going to vote for the left. If you're against abortion, you have to vote for the right. You have to vote for Trump over Biden. You're not going to vote for Biden, are you? I wouldn't. I'm not going to vote for Biden. They know that. They have us right in their pocket. Trump knows he doesn't have to do shit. He doesn't have to change. He doesn't have to do a good job. He's better than Biden, and that's all he needs to be. Does he want to learn from what he... No. Get DeSantis out of the way. Do a scandal, whatever. Find a picture. Get him out of the way. Trump's trying to Kavanaugh DeSantis. Get him the hell out of my way. He doesn't need to be better. He's better than Biden. So is a tube of toothpaste. So this is the game that they play. I'm not Republicans. I'm not Democrats. And then they do 90% of the same stuff together. It's all a game. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm not hateful. I'm not pessimistic. Maybe that's just what politics is. I'm not trying. Someone said go on Dan Bongino. He can invite me on. Ask him to invite me on. They know who I am. I have almost 1 billion views. You think they don't know who I am? And I'm not saying that like he's probably seen a video of mine. Ask him to bring me on. They don't want to bring me on. You think they want me to say what I'm saying? They want to just keep the false paradigm going. Hey, if we win, the Democrats are going to beat the Republicans. It's like, yeah, oh yeah, we're this close. We're this close to prosecuting Fauci. We almost got him. We'll almost get him. I'll be shocked. I said this in 2018 too. It's like, I hope that bad people get held accountable, but I'd be shocked if it happened. Shock me, Republicans. Do something. Shock my world. Rock my world. They won't. Someone said you should have Royce White on. I've seen his tweets, but that's really it. I'll check out some of his stuff. Someone said Dan is waging war with Mexico. Yeah, Dan, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Crenshaw. It's like they can't fix St. Louis. They can't fix Houston. They can't fix Dallas. Marjorie's in Georgia, right? They can't fix Atlanta. Atlanta's turning into a crime zone, but they could fix Mexico, right? They just can't fix anything in America. They can't fix Miami. They can't fix New York City. Republicans can't fix our cities. They can't stop the banks. They can't stop the pharma cartel. They take money from the pharma cartel, some of them. But they're gonna, but if you get them into office, they're gonna wage war on Mexico and fight a foreign gang when they can't even fight local gangs. They can't even stop smash and grab. San Francisco's a shithole. Los Angeles is falling apart. Everyone's getting robbed. All the crime is starting to leak into Republican neighborhoods all over the country. Even in Republican neighborhoods, you're not safe anymore because the criminals know where the money is and the criminals know where people aren't paying attention. So all of America is getting worse, and Republicans can't fix any of that, but they're going to wage war on Mexico and fix Mexico. They just can't fix America. This is the Republican Party, but if people want to believe that these people are going to do something for them, they're not. I'm over it. Do I sound angry? Do I sound hateful? I get it. This is the way the world is. This is what people want. If people want to watch it, if Kardashians get 5 million viewers and I say, there's smarter women out there or something, my opinion doesn't matter. You get what you watch. You get what you buy. And people love this stuff. People want the same false paradigm. They want the fake Trump versus DeSantis fight. They want the fake left versus right fight. And, people are acting like psychopaths. So honestly, I don't even want to fight with people anymore. It's like, I get it, if that's your world, that's fine. I'm just don't expect me to live in your reality. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to hate on you. I'm just not going to live in your fake world. I don't live in that world. I'm not controllable. I'm not a bobblehead. I create my own reality, through God and through my mindset. Not like, you get what I'm saying? I'm not buying what you're selling. So if you want me to buy what you're selling, sell me on it better. But you're not going to do it by being nasty or angry or harping out on me. I call it harping out now because a harpy is like an ancient, female, like Jezebel, I think, essentially. So, I think harpies used to like sing to the men and lure them into the islands and then kill them. That's a harpy. So I call people like harping out, like you're acting like a harpy. You're like, la la la, and then I'm out of it. Someone said, I can't watch you anymore. You have too high of an opinion on yourself. You must be projecting onto yourself, because like this whole live stream was super humble, super thoughtful. I'm like, my vote only matters for one. My opinion doesn't matter. I'm probably the only news analyst with an opinion that'll tell you that my opinion actually doesn't matter for the election. It's the consensus. So you must be like an egotistical person, because this was probably one of the more thoughtful and humble streams that you'll ever see in politics. You'll never see this on Fox News. You'll never see this on CNN. You'll never see this on 99% of Republican pages. But if that was the tipping point, it must be projection, because this was one of my more thoughtful and calm streams that was, I would say, less opinionated, weighing out all the options. And that's why I'll still be in business, because you're not going to see this. Someone said you have 2020 vision on this Trump standard. People probably think Ron is more Israel first than he is. It's Trump's race to lose, and he's doing a remarkable job at that. Thanks for the super chat, Brian. We'll see. Someone said you're an influencer now. 1,000%. I never said I wasn't. Yeah, I understand that. What I'm trying to tell people is this is just my thought. You don't have to agree. I don't think the race is over for Trump or DeSantis. This is my view, because 100 things are going to happen. COVID-19, the lockdown happened in March 2020. The election was in November 2020. That's in a span of like 6 months. So if you were to tell me in December of 2019, Trump's going to win or Trump's done because of this, the whole world of COVID-19 didn't even exist in our reality yet. So I could sit here and tell you, it's over for this person. The reality of where we're going to be when the election happens is going to be not even a world you even knew existed at this moment. So what I'm trying to say is the narrative is going to shift 1,000 times. I'm not a hyper opportunist. It's over. Maybe, but maybe not. People said it was over for Trump, when he said certain things about Mexicans, which he really never said. It's like, I could sit here and tell you that it's over, but in my view, the reality is going to be shattered by 50 different media narratives in the course of the next 100 days. And, everyone's opinion now, it's like I'm calm. I'm watching it all as it goes by. Nick Gore said, people can't handle that you take the side of freedom and not some false-sided politician. Keep at it. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. But this is where, I've talked to people about Trump and DeSantis. I've talked to dozens of people. In my view, the influencer class is not connected to how people feel. But people feel differently in all 50 states. There's different opinions everywhere. That being said, I'm not saying I'm not an influencer. I'm just trying to be thoughtful about what I'm doing instead of acting like my opinion matters so much and what we say matters so much. Like, does it though? Yeah, there's influence. People definitely, in some ways control people's reality, because if 100 people say it on Twitter and that's all you see, that's your world. If you only follow 5 or 10 Republican influencers and you're getting your news from here, Newsmax, like that does morph your reality. So to some extent it matters, but I think there's a massive disconnect of how people feel. In my view, this is just conversations I've had off record with people, that a lot of people that I talk about that are Republicans and they like Trump and they voted for Trump. I've seen a lot of like both sides where they're like, I like DeSantis, I like Trump. I'd probably vote for DeSantis, or some people like, I'll still vote for Trump. I've seen both sides, but I haven't met anyone in my real life that acts like people that are like they hate DeSantis so much. Like, but maybe they do now though. I don't know. Maybe because Trump is pushing that card now, maybe people do really hate him because they just listen to Trump. I don't know. I guess I don't really care. Like, I'm not going to get so worked up over it. Wow, people have a different opinion. People have a different perspective. What do you want me to do? Freak out, cry, get angry? Like, I'm not that person. Someone said, I'm not taking away from Trump's policy accomplishments and standing up, said Janelle. However, I just think it's a bad move to fight him. I think it makes him look bad and childish, but I do think he loves the drama. It's fun for him. I think it's a dumb move to make DeSantis the enemy. I hear you. It seems like a lot of the influencers love it. They love that, but I don't think the people care about it as much. But I don't know. Nurse Becky said, always on point with your analysis. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me see. Their mad anomaly calls out both sides of the aisle of the BS. Yeah. Like I said, everyone has a role. Everybody plays a different part. But the people who get mad at me are bobbleheads. That's my new term. I just thought of it. I didn't invent the word, but what does a bobblehead do? Like, who's Donald Trump? Donald Trump is a billionaire. He's a successful builder. He was the president. Like, Donald Trump is Donald Trump, right? Say what you want. He's lived a very legendary life. Donald Trump is an iconic person. What's a bobblehead? A bobblehead is something you buy on Amazon for $15, and it sits on your desk, and it's a mini Trump that just bops its head up and down. That's a bobblehead. So like, Trump is Trump. A bobblehead's a bobblehead. Bobbleheads get mad at me because that's what they do. They just bob their head and they have no opinion. But I think I'm one of the few quote unquote influencers that actually tries to do news analysis, journalism, and weigh out all sides. There's some who do it, don't get me wrong, but not very many. A lot of influencers have turned into professional dick riders and professional bobbleheads. That's just the truth. I never wanted to do that, and I never did do that. I've definitely liked people at a certain time, but that's people's choice. They can do that. It is what it is. Someone said Ron can do Ron. If he's Trump, he will lose at it. Ron is smart. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be interesting. He's got a lot of people working against him now. DeSantis has not only the media, but also Trump trying to basically find personal stuff. And it's going to be a tough path for sure. Let me see. Someone said grifters exposed. It's funny because the word grifter is almost like racist now, that it's been so overused that I just like laugh, because like people will call like Bryson Gray a grifter because he's like disagreeing with Trump. And it's like, grifting would be before. If anything, grifting would be like using Trump, to benefit, not going against him. Like if Bryson really just wanted to grift, he would just keep making Trump songs and keep talking about Trump and say Trump can't do wrong. Like, that would be grifting. But what Bryson's doing is like, even though he did like Trump for a while, he's disagreeing with him. So it's funny because like people are like, oh, he's grifting. It's like, no, grifting's the other thing, but like, there's not really a huge audience of people that are conservative but understand the deception of both. There's not a huge audience for that. The audiences are in something simple. Like, a grift would just be like, I'm Team Red. That's a grift. Or I'm Team Blue. You know who's a grifter? Joe Walsh. What is that his name? Joe Walsh? He's a Tea Party Republican who hates Trump. But listen to what he says. He's just a Democrat. He's like Ana Navarro. That's a grifter. He has no thoughts. Everything. He basically just does exactly what CNN does and says, but I'm the Republican. That's a grifter. Not somebody that is reasonable, thoughtful, calls out both sides. So that's the opposite of grifting. There's not really money there. There's more money in being hysterical all the time. It is what it is, though. I mean, there's a bunch of routes everyone can go. Someone said, I like Bryson. He's unapologetic. Yeah, Bryson is definitely, in my view, not controllable. He doesn't care what people think. He literally doesn't care. He'll say something. He might do something you don't like, but at the end of the day, I don't think he cares. He doesn't care about the LGBT stuff. He doesn't care what people think about his Trump takes. It's very rare, and it's I guess he's inflammatory by nature, so there's always someone getting mad at him, but he likes it. He revels in that. But yeah, a grift would be him not saying anything. That's a grift, not him going against what he did. It's not helpful. It's honestly, it hurts. Like, as far as like financial and stuff, but let me see. I want to read a few comments real quick. Should I end it at an hour or no? Should we go a couple more minutes? I like chilling and stuff, and I appreciate the super chats, so I'll hang around for maybe like 20, 30 minutes, but I did a whole interview that's going to be a BitChute and Rumble exclusive with this guy named Alex Zek. He talks about things that I can't even put on Facebook and YouTube, unfortunately. So I'm going to put that on Rumble and BitChute. Rumble.com/DreamRare, BitChute.com/DreamRare. Check that out if you want to see. But yeah, I'm a little tired because I did a whole hour stream before this. Let me see. Someone said, well, I don't want to. Someone's talking about weed. I don't want to talk about marijuana right now. It's not really on topic, but it's fine. Someone said numerology isn't the smartest. I never hated on numerology because there's talented people in every field, but there's like this one guy in that field that just like goes off on me all the time because he's like, everything's rigged, every sports game's rigged. I know everything. I've done the code of your name's a code, and I could tell who you are by the name of your code. And I'm like, I never had a problem with them, but until the one guy just started like reeing out at me. He's like, ree, and I'm like, that's the definition of a guy with like a huge ego. He's like, I know so much. I have the codes. I'm like, all right, bro. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I never cared about, I never said anything bad about numerology or that guy because I don't pay attention. But like, yeah, he started ringing out at me super hard. But whatever. So someone said DeSantis is smooth for a gay. That's actually kind of funny. But it's also hate speech. Numbers are for fools. Well, I don't believe that. I think in finance and stuff, numbers are important. I don't think numbers are for fools. Like any accountant will tell you the opposite. But as far as being like, oh, dream rare, I've done this. Dude, do you even know how I came up with that name? It's not like I was sitting in a pyramid, with a Ouija board. It's like I was just trying to rebrand because Anomaly Music was too long and hard to spell. So I was trying to find a 2-syllable short thing, and I was just putting words together. But yeah, you know the numerology of my name because like whatever. Let's see. Someone said Rumble is the future. They definitely are doing a good job for sure. Shout out to Rumble. The numbers are going up. They're definitely closing deals. So, Lost Soul said Anomaly has influenced me to be a better person. Well, thank you, Lost Soul. I appreciate it. That was nice. Someone said voting is adult equivalent to writing a letter to Santa. I mean, I think voting matters, but not as much as people realize. So, in my opinion, whether you vote or don't vote, I vote. But if you don't, that's fine. I don't think voting will solve all our problems. I think voting will slightly change the course of American history to some extent. But as far as solving all our problems, I don't think so. But everybody thinks that. It's like if I just vote for that guy and my guy wins, then it's really going to change. And then when it doesn't change, people are like, oh, he couldn't do it. Oh, that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to figure this stuff out and not get annoyed, but it's like, so you voted for this guy, right? And he had all three levers. He had the Senate, the House, and the presidency for 2 years. But he couldn't do anything because Paul Ryan was there, who he complimented, by the way, and said was great. He loved Paul Ryan. But we'll archive that and pretend like Trump hated Paul Ryan. He didn't for 2 years, but whatever. Okay, so he can't do anything when he gets in power. All right, so he hires a bunch of bad people, but like he has to or something, and then like COVID happens and he like sells the vaccine, but like he has to, and like nothing's his fault, and like so voting's gonna solve the solution, but you don't think that voting's even fair, but you're gonna go vote for Trump, even though Trump tells you that the election was rigged. So it doesn't matter, but it does matter because you got to get him back into office, but it doesn't matter. But even when he gets into office, he can't do anything because other people bamboozle him. But next time he gets into office, it's going to be different because someone won't bamboozle. Like, I don't even understand where people are coming from. Like, no matter what you think, the point we're all trying to bring to the equation is it's going to take more than voting Republican to fix the country. But if everyone just sits back and is like, yeah, he'll do it for sure. Oh, he didn't do it. But it's not his fault. But he didn't do it. Okay, whether it's his fault or not, like, when are you going to come to the reality of voting Republican is not going to fix the inflation? It's not going to fix the deficit. What I just said is considered controversial. It's insane. No, they'll stop. It's just Biden printing the money. No, it's not. People think that, though. I would say 90% of Republicans probably think that inflation is 100% Biden's fault. They don't even know that Republicans also print money and run the deficit up like crazy. Because Republicans always tell them they won't. It's very funny. It's just like a joke. So it is what it is. What can you do? Make fun of it. Have a good time. Someone said, I like your shirt. This is my most controversial shirt. Some say it looks like a grandma's napkin or quilt or tablecloth, perhaps. We call it the tablecloth shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts because it's just silky and never wrinkles. You know what I'm saying? I won't even say when I'm in a rush because I wasn't in a huge rush today, but it feels good. It's like a silky shirt, you know? Like, do you want to put on the shirt that kind of wrinkles, you need to iron or whatever? Or do you want to put on that silky smooth tablecloth? So this is one of my favorite shirts just because it feels good. You know, it's easy to put on. It's got a good vibe to it. Got them tablecloth vibes. Someone said, research what MAGA really means in cults. Yeah, I saw. Is it like the Church of Satan that it's like one of the levels or something is like MAGA? I've seen that before. I mean, you know, it could be a coincidence. It could not be. I don't know. But I'm in a better place than I was. I think that the name of life, there's a lot of things in life, but you know, one of the things to get like wiser, you want to be wiser than you were a year before. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but I'm not who I was 2 or 3 years ago. And you know, it is what it is. Like some people want me to be in the same mindset that I used to be in. I want to see if I could find this like this guy made this funny thing of me. Oh, here it is. I'm going to print this out and do a little thing because I didn't want to focus on it too much, but I did want to bring it up because like this is some like smear thing some guy was doing to me on Facebook. It was like, see, I've exposed Anomaly. He's a fake Republican, or like I'll just show you the whole thing, and I just want to go through it because I think it's interesting. I'm not really like upset by it, but if it was crazy, I would have been like, damn. But I looked at it and I was like, I can explain this very easily, so I will. And people always say, you don't have to do that. It's like, yeah, I don't have to do that. I don't have to talk about stuff. I don't really have to do anything, but I like it. It's interesting. Keeps the days from being different. And you know, I don't want to be too repetitive. All right, I'm going to get this thing real quick. It's about to print out. Someone said, oh my gosh, Anomaly has his own ideas. You'd be shocked by how many people don't. It's pretty common. Everybody is not trying to think. I get it. Life's crazy. All right, so here's this thing that someone made on Facebook, and look, he made like a whole smear thing, and it says, I'm a Republican, actually I'm not, okay I am, I mean it this time, and he's like, look, Anomaly's fake, he's never been a Republican. So I'm just going to walk through this because I think it's funny. So the first one, this is me in 2018. It says, modern day liberalism has really inspired me. It's inspired me to delete my Netflix account and not watch television, support the president, and vote all Republican for the first time ever. So he's smearing, I mean, that's a great tweet, by the way. He's smearing me and saying, see, Anomaly says he's Republican because he supports the president and votes all Republican. So I did delete my Netflix account then. I deleted it as soon as Netflix said, oh, we're going to give Obama a big deal. I deleted it. I voted for all Republican in 2018 in the midterm elections, but I wasn't a registered Republican. And I said that 1,000 times. I don't think I registered until like 2020. So you can vote Republican and not be a Republican. And if anybody watched my videos since 2016, that was kind of my angle. My angle was like, I'm not a Republican. My biggest video, I said, I didn't vote for Trump in 2016. I'm not a registered Republican. Here's why I think Republicans actually aren't that bad. So yes, I voted for all Republicans in 2018. Yes, I supported the president in 2018. No, I actually wasn't registered as a Republican. And I've said that 1,000 times. So you can find videos of me in 2018, 2017. I'm saying I'm not a registered Republican, but I could still vote. You don't have to be registered to vote in a midterm election. Here's the second one he said. I'm a Republican. Ready? It's the Shapiro one. Shapiro said, so I keep quiet about your strategy, make consequences clear, obvious to everyone. Setting up vague standards or blustering without credibility is the worst of all worlds. And I said, how many times have you told President Trump to keep quiet? I'm losing count. Thank God he is president and doesn't listen to you. That was my answer to Ben Shapiro. And he says I was a Republican. There, once again, I was still not a registered Republican, but I still don't really like Ben Shapiro. And I honestly, you know, Ben Shapiro has terrible foreign policy. I never agreed with Shapiro's analysis. And even to this day, I don't want Trump to like shut up. It's just like, I just want him to do the right thing. I don't care how much he talks or whatever. So even then, exactly what I said is true. I still feel the same way about Ben. And I think his analysis on Trump was never great, in my opinion. So then here's, they made this, it was 2019, and it says, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I may stop lying, stealing my money, stealing my freedom, and starting unnecessary wars while psychologically dismantling society again. So I said, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm going to stop lying and stealing my money again. And he said, oh, now he's not a Republican. So I'll solve that mystery. In 2018, I was not registered, but I voted all Republican, and I didn't vote for a single Democrat in 2018. It was all Republican. In 2019, I never said I was a Republican. I just disagreed with Ben Shapiro. In 2019, I said I'm not a Republican because I wasn't a registered Republican. And I was pretty clear. I was basically like, both parties are scamming me and I don't agree with it. And then he posts this, and the last one said, okay, I mean it, I mean it this time. And it said, my first time at a Trump rally, having fun, hanging out, and getting cool footage. So now he says, oh, you have to be a Republican to be at the rally. I believe I was a registered Republican at that time, unless I registered after the election. I can't remember, but I am a registered Republican now. But I said, my first time at a Trump rally, having fun, hanging out, and getting cool footage. I had fun hanging out. The people there were amazing. It was nice to be outside. I was stuck in my house all year. It was nice that Trump, in my opinion, it was cool that he was doing rallies, not just because he was doing rallies, but because he was breaking the Democrat protocol. So his rallies, whether he knew it or not, was like anti-lockdown activism. Just the fact that he would hold the rallies. I voted for President Trump in 2020, and I stand by it. It was a better vote than Biden for the mandates and other reasons. Judges, I think, makes a difference. So it's like, this is the best that someone could do. It's like, I wasn't a Republican there. I wasn't a Republican there. I wasn't a Republican there. And I went to a Trump rally and filmed it. Like, yeah, that all happened. And I voted for Trump in 2020. So because I do that, I can't point out I have to just pick a side and not have a brain. Like, this is what people are doing to me now. I don't care. If I cared, I wouldn't show it. It's just like, this is the level. Like, it's so funny. I'm like, do you not understand how things work? And some people say too, it's like they'll point back to like, oh, you liked Bernie, and it's like, do you understand how many people grow up and go from Democrat to conservative? There's a saying that say if you're right wing and you're conservative when you're young, you have no heart. If you're not right wing and conservative when you're older, you have no brain. So that's like an age-old saying that's basically like, if you're not conservative by the time you're older, you don't have a brain. This is a natural flow. If you look at who's voting Democrat, it's mostly younger people and women. There's men, obviously, there's older people, but that's just how it is. So it's like, I've never hidden the fact of who I was. My biggest pro-Trump video said I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. I knew my vote didn't matter though. I know how the voting system works. I live in California. My vote for Trump or Hillary doesn't matter. It's not going to even weigh in. I don't live in Pennsylvania. I don't live in a swing state. I don't live in Florida. So I already was thinking strategically anyway, like it doesn't really matter. But I've made that public for like years. So when people are trying to be like, oh, I'm like, everyone knows that because most people that know me, most older people and people on Facebook that saw my hundreds of millions of views, they're like, oh, Anomaly is that guy who was like kind of liberal and like figured it out. That was my whole angle forever. You know, Brandon from Walkaway Movement once told me that basically, you know, that was kind of the inspiration for his whole movement, was like basically seeing my Walkaway story, which was the most viral one probably ever before Walkaway existed, and being like, yeah, I saw that, and you know, that was part of my awakening, and then I like branded it. So it's like I never said I was born and raised a Republican, like never. So I don't know. It's just interesting. Someone said I stopped watching Ben when he said he got the vax and he started pushing it hardcore. Yeah, I mean, there's certain things Ben will do good and there's certain things Ben won't do good. You know, Ben's pros, he has a lot of pros. I think he's good socially and stuff. But, you know, in my opinion, Ben's weak points are his foreign policy is like, he's like a psychotic war hawk. Shocker. I would say on Big Pharma and the vaccine, he's either foolish or lying or naive. And when it comes to Israel, I think he has a massive bias and calls everything anti-Semitic and supports, you know, crying hate speech when he's not willing to have an intellectual discussion about how the First Amendment works or how protest laws work, or you get what I'm saying? So it is what it is, though. There's some great things Ben does too, but There's definitely some things I would like to have a conversation or debate about. None of these people really want to debate me, though. As far as like people said, like Dan Bongino, I'd love to talk to Dan. I'm sure we'd agree on a lot, but I don't know. I don't think. Who knows what they think? I don't want to put words in his mouth. Dan, I know a lot of people who like Dan. I think he's like a superstar. He's crushing it, but who knows if they like me or not? Maybe they don't know me. I don't know. I saw Don Jr. follows me on Twitter, which is pretty crazy because I definitely am outspoken about a lot of things. Like Don Jr. follows me on Twitter. That's pretty wild. I'm like, I wonder what he thinks when I talk about Operation Warp Speed and stuff. Maybe he agrees. Maybe Don Jr. likes me because he knows I'm telling the truth. I have no idea. I can't really control what other people think or what, but I'm not someone who needs that. I don't look at it with like, oh, I need to be on Dan Bongino's platform. He doesn't owe me anything, and I don't owe anything to Dan. If Dan never wants to have me on the show, I won't be mad at him over that. You get what I'm saying? I don't look at the world like everyone owes me something. Why does he need me on his show? When people do that to me, it annoys me so much. It's like, I don't owe you anything either. Just like Dan Bongino doesn't owe me anything. No one owes me anything. Like, oh, I need to be on this show. I really don't. I can exist without crossing that path. I'd like to interview or debate Ben Shapiro. But how to get to that point? A lot of networking, probably. I did the interview with James O'Keefe. How did I get that interview? Well, I've met James O'Keefe, and I think James likes me as a person. We've chatted, as like outside of like politics and stuff. We just kind of like hung out, and I think he likes me. So that's how I did the interview. I just messaged him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow." And then I messaged him tomorrow. I was like, "Are we still doing it?" He's like, 2 minutes. So I wish I could have had more time to prepare, but I was like, I had 2 minutes to basically go live with him. Like it happened so fast that I really couldn't prepare. But that's how I did it. So I think with Ben or Dan, the name of the game is like physical networking. Emails only go so far, but if you meet them or you have, if you have friends that, like networking is important in any field, but I think that's why I don't get certain opportunities. Maybe, they don't like me enough to care, and I haven't networked my way to that point, but it's all good. Someone said, maybe Trump doesn't want to pick the big pharma fight before the election. Sounds like 5Q chess nonsense. Oh, well. I mean, time will tell all, but all I'm going to say is I know the type of people who said that he had a secret plan. I know that people didn't want to address it in 2020, and nothing has really changed. So, I mean, people can think what they want. Maybe he's really going to take on pharma, but I see no evidence of it. Like with DeSantis, I see the evidence. He's doing it. He's talking about it. He hired Joseph Ladapo. With Trump, he sells the vaccine harder than Bill Gates. People get mad when I say that. It's just true. Even Bill Gates will admit some of the flaws with it. Trump won't. He's so stubborn. He's so proud of that horrible, gross product that nobody even cares about anymore. But that's what people want. I guess people want that type of leadership. That's why it is what it is, It's like, what am I going to argue with people for 2 years? I'm over it. I'll do my job. I'll try to help people. I'll try to help myself and move on. Someone said, Anomaly, you were the best and most honest person during COVID. Thank you, Kirk. I appreciate it. I think all my work stands the test of time. All my COVID work, I think every video is still accurate because that's how I try to do my reporting. I don't fence sit when it comes to moral and ethical things that I know are true. The only time I quote unquote play the fence is with topics I can't give you 100% accuracy. Like, where did the virus come from? Was it a lab leak? Was it here? Is it not even really that? I can pretend like I know, but I don't take a full stance because I'm not really sure what's going on. I just know they're lying. And obviously I have my thoughts and opinions, but that's the only time I play the fence is like just to be accurate. That's what journalism's supposed to be though. If you don't know something, you're not supposed to pretend like you know it. You get what I'm saying? Say there's a medical product that helped a lot of people, but then it hurt a lot of people. If you say this product's 100% safe, it's never hurt anybody, and it helps everybody, that's not true. And if you say this product only hurts people and it's never helped a single person, that also might not be true. You get what I'm saying? That's the reason I do that, is because that's just the truth. Sometimes the truth is gray. It's not always black and white with certain topics. Like, say Advil. Has Advil never helped a single person? Of course it does, but it's also killed people when they overdose on it, and too many people take it too often. That's just the truth. The truth isn't black or white. The truth is gray. As far as do I take it, I try not to. I don't know. I don't honestly know. I mean, I'm sure somebody's had less pain temporarily because of it, but that's just what it is. Someone said, blood on your hands if you willingly push lies, in my opinion. Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely. A lot of people in the media have done a lot of really evil stuff about wars, that's why I like Tucker. He admitted he was wrong, and he's like, you could tell it bothered him. He was like, could you imagine if you pushed the Iraq war? Like, it was like he knew he did something bad. You got to respect that. Tucker's not perfect. I don't agree with him on everything, but I like Tucker Carlson. I respect Tucker Carlson. I think the fact that he's willing to admit that shows what type of person he is. You don't see that in politics and media, like, ever. I love it. I appreciate it. Someone said Trump is the nanny of the vaccine. Vaccine nanny? I don't even know. Guido Sardu, I don't know what that says. You're getting better through the years. Appreciate you. Thank you. Someone said Saddam being killed was good, though. Good for who, though? Good for what? Is Iraq solved? Did he solve the crisis? I think Saddam was probably not going to play ball with America, Israel, maybe Saudi Arabia. I don't know. Was that really good? You could say so. I don't know. Let's see. Someone said, did you block Yoshi? I thought you were okay with arguments. Yeah, I don't mind arguments and debate, but he's just a bobblehead. It's fine. Like, I explained that already. He was coming in all the time and just being annoying. I don't mind having a debate, but his logic is, you think you know better than Trump on anything, so he's a bobblehead. He's a professional fan. It's fine. I'm not mad at the guy. There's no hate. It's just he doesn't understand what I do. I do analysis. I do journalism. I critically think. I understand both parties are in on it. I understand Trump sells the vaccine. He's a professional bobblehead. So it's all good. We just can't coexist. I'm a real boy. He sits on a shelf and just shakes his head up and down. That's okay, but there's no debate or conversation there. It's like Trump says his vaccine saved 100 million lives. Anybody with a brain knows that that's not true. The bobblehead says he saved 100 million lives because Trump said so. So his opening up the world saved the world. It's like, it's bobblehead activity. It's like talking to a brick wall. I'm not mad at the wall. I just don't want to talk to it. So if someone intelligent or thoughtful or, that has critical thinking skills wants to debate, sure, I would love to. I love a good challenge. But if a bobblehead wants to bobblehead, I'm not, I'm not in the plastic merchandise business. I'm busy. I have a lot of stuff to do. I have multiple interviews this week. I'm on a few shows. I had somebody on my show that is saying something I don't even know much about. So yeah, that's it. But it is what it is. Someone said I was forced to take vaccinations to feed my family. God will take care of those evil people. Yeah, I'm sorry. Someone said, what's the difference of a bobblehead and a professional D-rider? Well, there's not a difference. It's just like a synonym, It's like saying strong and powerful. It means the same thing. So like a bobblehead is a professional D-rider. It's the same thing. I'm not mad at people who do that. It's like when you watch the basketball game, everybody has a role. Sometimes I'm a fan. I'm a fan of mixed martial arts. I train a little bit, like very little bit, but I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? But the fan is not the bad person. You need fans in the stands to pay the athletes. You need cheerleaders, right? You need the female cheerleaders to wave the pom-poms. So you need bobbleheads to sell for merchandise. People buy them. So I'm not mad at cheerleaders. I'm not mad at fans. I'm not mad at D-riders, and I'm not mad at, whatever. But I just don't want to, like, we're not doing the same thing. Like, I'm on the court and he's got the pom-poms in his hand. So I respect his right to do that. and I respect anyone's right to do that. But they're coming to me like that's my job. And I could use, Jules, I can use a specific example for you to show who I was and who a lot of people were in 2020. In May of 2020, I have the tweet saved. Trump tweeted that Sweden should have locked down. This is 2 months after the lockdown. The data is obvious. The scam is obvious. I'm trying to open up the country, get people free. And Trump is on Twitter, the leader of our country, saying Sweden should have locked down. And most bobbleheads and most fans and most D-riders said, oh, Trump's right. Wow, Sweden's dying. Wow, yeah, like you had Republicans that were pushing pro-lock, because Trump was pushing pro-lockdown propaganda, saying Sweden should have locked down like America. That's pro-lockdown propaganda from Trump. The bobblehead said, I agree. The bobblehead shared the same article. I could name some of the bobbleheads for you, but I'm not trying to start problems with people. You go back to my Twitter from April and May, I'm disagreeing. I say Sweden should open. Sweden should open their state. It's not true. They're not dying at a massive rate. That's a lie. I have the data. I have the proof. So I do journalism, news analysis. I'm honest, smart, strong, not pathetic, have a spine. Other people, they're professional D writers. They just ride his D and share whatever he shares. That's not what I do. That's not what I ever did. And that's not what I'm ever going to do. So if that's what you do, it's like trying to get on the court with Kobe Bryant when you're a Fisher-Price kid. You know, stay in your lane. Play baby basketball with the bobbleheads. It's fine. I'm not mad at you. But don't come on the court with the big boys and act like I should play on a Fisher-Price net with you. I'm not interested. You know, there's millions of people I'd rather talk to. I've never been that person. And find those people. Show me who was saying Sweden should open up. Show me who was saying that the data is a lie. They don't really exist because that's what most influencers are. They just are professional fans, professional yes men. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you have a business, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. You know, everyone, like if I wanted a yes man, I'd just get a dog. You get what I'm saying? A dog loves you. A dog's happy to see you. If I want a dog, I'll get a dog. I don't need grown men to act like that. I'm not interested. So I don't mind that people act that way, but why come on my court and act like I'm supposed to be like you? Why would I want to be dumber and weaker and faker and a bobblehead? It doesn't make sense. I've come too far to go back 50 steps and be a lesser person. You understand? So I'm not dodging debates. I just don't have time to talk to bobbleheads, you know? For instance, you know, Ben Swan, he does journalism, right? Ben Swan does news analysis. Tucker Carlson has disagreed with Trump on the Iraq war. Tucker Carlson has talked about vaccine injuries. He agrees with Trump a lot, but Tucker does news analysis. He's creating his own reality sometimes. Some people don't have that ability, or they don't want to do that. It's just life. Like but I already saw that, say with like Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity is a likable guy. Sean Hannity is interesting, I guess. You know, he gets high ratings, but there's a difference between Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity. Tucker Carlson is a free thinker. He'll have on people that disagree with wars, and Sean Hannity is like a bootlicking neocon, like, you know, like he rode Trump's coattails and then he rides the war coattails. That's just who Hannity is. I've always seen it. I'm not saying Hannity's not interesting or funny or impressive. He's an icon. He's in the Hall of Fame of news people on television. But Hannity's a professional bobblehead. He's a bobblehead for the war. He was a bobblehead for Trump. And when Trump's gone, he'll be a bobblehead for the war again. That's just who he is. I'm not mad at him. But that's not who I am. You know, Tucker's not that person. I'm not that person. Ben Swan's not that person. You know, Russell Brand to some extent is not that person. I don't watch all this stuff, but like Jimmy Dore, even though he's left wing, he's not that person. Like some people are not just like copycats, you know? Same with music. Some people just copy everybody's flow, copy their style, copy their sound, copy their beat. And then you have unique artists who create their own stuff and, you know, they're more creative. Someone said Tucker having Jimmy Dore on talking about the vaccine. I didn't see that. Or are you saying that Jimmy also talks about? Well, Jimmy Dore is a vaccine injured. You know, he got injured by the vaccine, so he knows exactly what happened. Someone said you're so naive, Anomaly. Why are you so? What makes you so wise? What? Let me know. I'll read your comment. Why am I naive? What part of what I just said in the last 5 minutes is so naive? Let me see. What's the wisdom from your account? You're here all the time, so you must like my show. Why am I naive? Let's see. Someone said I gave up Fox and Netflix a few years ago. It's cool. All right, I'm on my own clock, and if you aren't, that's racist. It is racist to not agree with someone. Let's see. Someone said Sean blocked me 3 times on Twitter. It happens. Well, you only mentioned within the last 5 years. I don't know what you mean. Let's see. I don't know if this lady's going to answer. It's all good. Someone said Tucker has to answer to big media. He works at Fox. He works on television. So to some extent, yeah. But as far as that game being played, he's doing a good job. He could always leave and do a podcast. He's got enough money. At a certain point, you gain a little leverage too. If you're the big rating guy, you know, you have a bit of leverage. So I wouldn't want to see Tucker leave television because someone needs to do what he's doing on television because a lot of people still watch it. And it's good to break up the monotony of television. Let's see. I don't know that all journalists are CIA military controlled. That's why I'm naive. All television journalists, every journalist ever, anywhere. I think the CIA probably controls a lot of journalists, no question, or a lot of people on TV, but all of them? I mean, on television, it looks like most of them, as far as they all say the same things. They all do this. Like, I'm not disagreeing that a lot of them are controlled or, you know, I mean, just watch television. You watch these people and they mostly say all the same things, especially the left-wingers. Some of the right-wing ones, a lot of them, I mean, Hannity wears a CIA pin, but other ones break the narrative sometimes. I never said otherwise. I mean, I'm not gonna make claims I can't prove, but obviously intelligence agencies have people to somewhere. Like, Terrestrial said DeSantis is willing to let Democrats take political prisoner for his own gain. Shocker. Is that how you see it? I don't see it that way, but if people do, that's fine. It's like Trump jabs the dude 1,000 times. He's basically trying to say you're doing underage stuff. Trump is trying to personally destroy DeSantis' entire career in every way possible. And DeSantis needs to, like, do everything he needs to go out of his way to fix something in another state that's not his state. He got rid of his Soros DA, but now it's his fault that Trump got in trouble in New York, right? It's DeSantis' fault. He needs to go out of his way to get somebody that's trying to call him a pedo. I mean, he could, but it's like he takes the high road on 99 out of 100 topics. Trump does a low blow on every topic, but if DeSantis doesn't go out of his way to basically stick his neck out into New York and see what's going on, then it's his fault. I don't see it that way. But if you do, I'm not mad. Someone said, why are there so many haters on here? Well, I don't think there's a lot of haters. I just think people comment and disagree. It's healthy to have disagreements. But honestly, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people have I don't know what I'd really call it, but it's like overdosing on politics. So it's just like 5-6 years of just like psychological games, like lockdowns, Trump, anti-Trump. Like, people, I think people are just kind of like, if they don't have a good grounding, and they don't have faith in God, and they don't understand the power of self-awareness and self-accountability and how to live. I don't know. I think some people are kind of just, at a certain point, they're just going to get annoyed with me. I don't know. Like, I need to go over here. It's like, okay. I don't know what's going on, but I think for the most part, most people are cool. It's just a lot of people don't even comment at all. Someone said Trump deflects when he doesn't want to answer the hard questions. Well, he doesn't have to, though. That's the thing. Nobody expects him to. Trump knows where he stands on the totem pole. he knows that he can get away with anything. He doesn't have to answer tough. Like here's a test to show you like what's going on. If you close people's eyes, close their ears, and just gave 10 statements and said, what do you think of this? People would say, I don't like that. I like that. I don't like that. And then if you told them, well, that was Trump, or that was DeSantis, or that was Bernie Sanders, or that was Marjorie Taylor Greene, I guarantee you that people would give Trump a pass on these things. Well, Hillary Clinton said the vaccine's the greatest achievement of mankind, or one of the greatest achievements of mankind. What do you think about that? Well, that's corrupt. Hillary Clinton's corrupt. Well, actually, Trump said that. Oh, Trump said that? Oh, no, that makes sense. It's like Bernie Sanders said that. Oh, that's bad. Trump said that. Oh, DeSantis did this. Oh, DeSantis needs to step up or he'll never win. Oh, no, actually, Trump did. Like, if you did one of those, like, on the street things where you tricked people and gave them Trump quotes and told them it was DeSantis or Bernie or Marjorie Taylor Greene or Kevin McCarthy or Mitch McConnell, people would disagree with them. But the second it's Donald Trump doing it, like, he's held to different standards. Some would say he earned those standards. Others would be like, people are acting like cult members. It depends who you are. Some people are like, yeah, he's earned those standards. He doesn't have to do the right thing. He doesn't have to hire good people. He doesn't have to, endorse the right people. He's allowed to do whatever. He could lie about the vaccine. He could push it. He can oversell it like a MyPillow. Like, people are fine when Trump does that. But if another person did that, they'd freak out. If Candace Owens did that, her career's over. If Trump does it, he's the next president. If DC Drano was doing that or David Harris was doing it on Instagram, their career would be over. But if Trump does it, his career's not over because it's Donald Trump. It's just the truth. People could get mad at what I'm saying, but it's true. It's true. Any right-wing influencer that had the vaccine rhetoric of Donald Trump saying, I did it, I rushed it, it's mine, not Fauci's, I saved the world, it's so great, it's awesome, I took it. If anybody did that, David Harris, DC Drano, anybody, any right-wing influencer you follow, their career would be over. Their comment section would be filled with people calling them sellouts. If they ever took $1 million from Pfizer, their career would be done. They'd be in the shadows of conservative culture. But if Trump does it, it doesn't matter. He has this godlike status in the right wing where it doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter how much he sells the vaccine. It doesn't matter if he gets paid off by Pfizer. It doesn't matter if he hires someone. And there's two ways you can go with that information. Either you could say, that's psychotic, people are acting like cult members and getting fooled by politics. Or you could say, no, Trump deserves that. He's done enough to get that status where it doesn't matter what he says or does. He is held to a higher standard and, he can get away with it. It's like Conor McGregor in the MMA. He can get away with more because he sells more tickets. Maybe that's how people want politics to be, well, Trump is a bigger cash cow, so he can do that. But I don't know. Someone said Soros approved of DeSantis. He will win because ain't nobody going to do it. Soros didn't approve of DeSantis, though. That's another fake story. Just watch the video. Soros didn't say, I like DeSantis. I want him to win. He said, I think he's going to beat Trump, and Trump's time is coming to an end. That's what he said. You could take that as he hates Trump more than DeSantis, but I don't. That's not what I got from it. People are like, oh, he endorsed DeSantis. He didn't endorse DeSantis. He gave his opinion about what's going to happen. It would be like if I said Gavin Newsom's going to beat Joe Biden because Joe Biden sucks. And you said, oh, and I'm going to endorse Gavin Newsom. That's what he did. If I said Gavin Newsom is going to be the next president or he's going to be the next nominee and he could win, and Joe Biden's so pathetic, Joe Biden's so evil, Joe Biden's so old that Gavin Newsom's going to beat him. Did I just endorse Gavin Newsom? No, I gave my opinion about what I think is going to happen because Joe Biden's so old. You get what I'm saying? That's what Soros did about Trump and DeSantis. He didn't endorse him. He didn't promote him. He said his opinion. The same way I think that Gavin Newsom could possibly, replace Joe Biden. That doesn't mean I like Gavin Newsom. It doesn't mean I think Gavin Newsom's better than Biden. It just means that's my opinion about what's going to happen. So, but if people want to believe that, that's fine. Just watch the clip yourself and be honest about it. That's another fake narrative that's going around, but it is what it is. Jennifer said, absolutely mind-blowing and disturbing how anyone worships any politicians. They are not your savior. It is mind-blowing, for sure. It is crazy. I get it to some extent, but at the same time, people need to grow up, for sure. Someone said, I got the same idea as you. People are resorting to the same lying strategy used by the left. And another thing that the left does, it's in like Rules for Radicals. Apparently, I haven't fully read the book. I have the book. I started reading it, but I haven't finished it. What is it? Sal Alinsky, Rule for Radicals. There's a part in it that says, apparently, I don't know this because I haven't fully read it, but everyone always says, in Rules for Radicals, it says, accuse your enemy of what you're doing. Accuse them of what you're doing. In my opinion, that's what Trump does to DeSantis. He's like, he locked down beaches. He was weak on lockdowns. He locked down to like, okay. And what did you do? Were you amazing during COVID? Like you know, it's like Trump is taking Saul Alinsky type tactics. Accuse him of what he's doing, smear his name, get rid of him off of a scandal. Don't address the actual policy. And then DeSantis is actually doing stuff. He's like, I'm fighting the digital dollar. It's like, yeah, but you're with kids. It's like, or you're with girls in this picture. It's like, okay, and Brett Kavanaugh raped somebody 50 years ago because there's something in his yearbook. Like, these are the games that right-wingers want to play. Politics is an ugly world. This is what I want people to know. I'm not competing with other people in the sense of like, I don't need any power. My power comes, the power that I've attained, it comes from my reporting. It comes from being honest. It comes from working hard, and it comes from earning people's trust. You can't buy that. You can't anger yourself into my position. It's just not possible. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how bad you want it. You can't get what I have unless you do what I do. That's me. Everybody has their own thing. Some people have money. Some people have fame. My power comes from the fact that I've done this to earn this. If you want that, you got to act that way. Other people, though, I'm not looking for what you have. If you want to run for office, I'm not your competitor. I don't want to run for office. If you want, I don't want it. I don't want to argue with people. I'm not interested in fighting with people and smearing their character and looking through their high school yearbook over a fight over Trump DeSantis. I actually don't care. But people, in my view, are acting psychotic. They're acting like psychopaths. And this is not new. They've been doing it for 6 years, ever since Trump got into office. Maybe before that. I don't know. I haven't been following politics my whole life. But it's like, I want no part of that. So I just want to let people know, I'm not your problem. I'm not running. I don't care if you like Trump more. I don't care if you like Biden more. But the way people are acting and like it's so good, it's like, what a psychotic, evil world that people live in. I want no part of it. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do my reporting. But if this is your idea of being a better political party, is dragging people down, taking old situations. I had Trump's back for years when they tried to take old situations and draw them out of context. But now I'm supposed to just do that to the guy who's challenging Trump because he's actually doing stuff that Trump's not willing to do. And instead of learning from that, he's just going to try to like Stormy Daniels, Ron DeSantis, and he's going to try to Brett Kavanaugh, Ron DeSantis. And that's cool. Like, that's the world that Republicans want to live in. I'm just not interested in it. But I'm not stopping people. Like, it is what it is. I'm just like, I see politics for what it is, and it's such an ugly, ugly world. I don't want that. I want to do what I do. Let me see. If people are asking for money in times of crazy, there's your fruits. Well, I mean, everyone needs money, though. I don't know. I understand that like some people can be scammy, but people say that to me too. They're like, "Oh, Anomaly, you just sell hats." Do you look at other influencers? They sell 100 things. Do you know how many things I've ever sold? Why do I sell my own hats? Well, it's one way to fight back against big tech. If I can make money selling hats and I lose my Facebook, you get what I'm saying? I need to make money from somewhere or else I'll just do something else. Like, at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing if you sell your own stuff, but in general, some people are like, oh, well, they don't, like, in order to win an election, you do have to raise money. I wish it wasn't that way, but even for politicians, that's just what they do. Everything's a sale because they need to raise money to beat the left or whatever. So it's like, I get that maybe they shouldn't do that during times of trouble, but just like other people need, like, you need to work in times of trouble. You need to go to a job and, like, get money somehow. Everyone needs money somehow. So if people do news reporting, they need money from somewhere. If they don't get it from subscription based or selling merch or selling ads, then they can't do it. And with Trump, even, I disagree with maybe some ways that him and Biden do political ads, but that's just politics. It's like patriots, 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 money, money, money. And if Trump raises billions of dollars, he has a better chance. If DeSantis raises billions of dollars, he has a better chance. If Biden raises more money than Trump, that helps him. That's just what it is. They're gonna raise money even if there's no food on your table. Like that's just, I can't say I blame them. That's just how it works. And same with influencers. Like everyone has to make money, but everyone has their own ethical stand. Mine is I sell my hats because I like my hats. They're made in the USA, and all my products are stuff I believe in, and I do it so I don't have to sell stupid stuff. There's dozens of companies that would pay me. I've turned down more sponsors than I've ever agreed to because I don't want to just sell stupid crap. That's why I sell my own crap. When Facebook took away my money, that's when I started selling hats because they took away tens of thousands of dollars from me. So I'm going to go broke essentially, or I'm going to have to go back and do whatever I was doing. I was doing social media marketing type stuff or trying to get any job I could get. If I don't get money from Facebook, then they're trying to basically cut me out. And to be honest, I don't want people to feel bad for me. I'm fine. Like I could work somewhere if I have to, but I'm trying to do reporting and Facebook's stealing this at the time. I don't want to just give up and say, oh, Facebook, you win, right? You win. Facebook, YouTube, if they all cut your money, if TikTok kicks you off, you win. I'm not going to do what I'm doing. They want me to do that. They want me to give up when they take my money. That's part of the game they play. Oh, you can do that, but we're going to cut, this much money away from you this month. I never gave up. I started selling hats and doing Patreon and doing Donor Box. So you rarely hear me even sell stuff to a fault. I should sell my hats every time. I should post all my stuff every time. I did the outro video for that reason recently because I'm actually stupid for not doing that. It doesn't make sense. But, I have one sponsorship I'm working on, a product that I've used myself, that I believe in. I turned down 99% of sponsors. And I would say at my level, everybody sells everything all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that's not I'm working on a new product soon. I'd rather sell my own stuff and own it than, use other products and sell theirs. But it is what it is. I understand, why people don't want to give because it's like everything costs so much. Like everyone's taking a financial hit right now. I get it. You don't have to give anyone money. But I don't blame people for asking for money because everyone needs money. It's like when I go out to eat, I tip well. When I like somebody, I tip well. I don't have to, but I do. And I try to tip extra good because I can afford to, and I know times are tough. Any service that I get, I try to provide. But, a lot of people are like, I don't have the money to tip, or I don't have the money to do this, or I don't have the money to support on Patreon. And that's totally fine. I get it. It's like when a recession hits, this or whatever they fake call this, inflation, prices go up, wages don't go up. Gas prices go up, everything goes up, rent goes up, your money doesn't go up, and, everybody's tight. The stocks go down, crypto goes down. It's a tough time. It sucks. I would much rather everybody have a lot of money. Like during COVID, everybody's got $1,600. Oh, I got my universal basic income. Everyone's buying everything. And now we're facing the consequences of 2 years of money printing and universal basic income. Everybody's struggling. I'm fine, but it's like, yeah, I noticed that people aren't clicking as much. People aren't buying as much in some ways. But yeah, I never shame anybody, but you also can't, I don't think, shame people for trying to sell stuff because what else are you going to do? Everybody's hurting, but you could try. It's like when a coffee place has a thing there, coffee places have that little glass bottle sort of thing where it's like, can you tip? You don't have to. But you can't hate on the barista for having it there. It's like, whatever. Someone said potato salad and a bong. It's an interesting way to watch the Dream Rare podcast. But, we like all our viewers. It's not my business what you're doing. That's for the feds to look in on you. No, I'm joking. But I don't know. Zelensky ain't hurting. He's got 350 more million. Yeah, no, he's doing good. I guess I got to just pretend to be Zelensky for Halloween and maybe some people will give me money. That's a good one. Just pretend to be Zelensky for Halloween and then everybody just starts giving me money. We'll think about it. Let me see. I was going to buy a hoodie, but 3XL is way too big for me. Well, Leslie, the hoodies are basically sold out. Those are the only ones we have left. I'm working on new hoodies. They're super expensive, but everybody likes the hoodies. They sold out quick and they're really good quality. It's my favorite hoodie. It's good quality. So I'm going to buy new hoodies again soon. I almost didn't want to because they just cost so much money. I could buy hats this. It's like hoodies. It's a lot of material. It's made in the USA. It's like high level stuff that's better than all the other hoodies. So it costs a lot, but I'm going to do it. Yeah. Thank you. Rusty said the hoodies are so nice, high quality. I'm not just saying that. It's nice inside. I get texts and emails all the time. People say, hey, I love the hoodie. It's my favorite hoodie. So I get it. I'll get more. I just didn't want to because it's going to cost like, I buy all the products. It's going to cost me like thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. I think the initial hoodie, the amount that we bought, I don't remember. I think I had to pay like 16, 20 grand. You know, I'm paying that up front. So before I make the money back. So that's just like the world of buying merchandise. I don't do it sale by sale. I buy in bulk, warehouse it with my guy, and then we do it. Anomalinsky. I wish I was connected to him, man. Zelensky's getting paid, bro. It's a recession everywhere, but Zelensky's gobbling up that U.S. money. It's a good gig. Someone said Anomaly, just don't sell stuff that's promoting big corporations or poison. Yeah, for sure. I want to say this too, and I'm going to leave, guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Des Vault. I appreciate you. I want to say this real quick because someone had told me on their Facebook or YouTube, I don't know what they were saying, but they said a Pfizer ad ran. So I don't know exactly how to turn stuff off, but your ads are based on what you watch. Like when I watch YouTube or Facebook, I'm getting ads that are a net sum of all my data. So I've never once got a pharmacy ad on my YouTube or Facebook. Like I just don't get them. I get ads for like music or like a program that I could download sounds. Like they try to target what I might use. So they're like, oh, here's lights, here's things that you use. If you get an ad for Pfizer, I'm not saying it's your fault per se, but it's based on your data. It's not like I choose the ads that run on my live stream. It's all based on what you do. Like everybody that watches my live stream on Facebook or YouTube, they all get different ads. The ads are targeted towards you. So there might be a way to turn it in the back end. But for instance, on YouTube, I have no settings. Like basically, I have no idea what ads you're getting because it's based on your data. Facebook, same thing. I've never touched it or anything, and I've never really had a problem. But it's not like I'm working with them. It's just it's scanned all your stuff, and that's what it's decided. I've personally never gotten a Pfizer ad, but I do get, just like on television, like sometimes I play and they'll give me like a pill ad. I hate those ads, like pills or something, trying to tell me I'm sick, like when I watch TV. So I don't know how to turn it off, but I don't get that many, but I have gotten like pharmaceutical pill ads on my own like videos that I watch, and it's annoying. But appreciate you, Andrea. I'm gonna play my outro thing. I made that because I was like, it's probably smarter to have an outro than to just let that roll. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thank you to everybody who comments on Facebook, YouTube. I'll be back, and I've been enjoying the long shows because I like to talk and stuff, but I will start trying to cut them short because I understand people have like shorter attention spans. I haven't done a long live stream in like months, but I think because I haven't, it's been nice to just chill and chat and stuff real quick. It's more, I would say, like natural, but I'm going to do a lot of short shows coming up. So apologize for those who can't listen to the whole thing. Just listen to the first 10-20 minutes. You can get pretty much all you need in there. Thank you guys. Have a good one, and I'll be back soon. This has been the Dream Rare Podcast. Hey, what's going on, my friends? Just a few ways to stay in touch and support if you'd like to. The first way is dreamrare.com. We have blue beanies, black beanies, pink hats, other colored hats, freedom versus tyranny shirts, stay blessed long sleeve, God is great long sleeve, and lots of more cool items coming soon. Dreamrare.com. Check out the shop to support. Everything's made in the United States. Handpicked by me. Patreon.com/raretalk for $5 a month. You can help support me. Support the show. If you haven't noticed, unlike other channels, I don't work with very many sponsors, sometimes none at all. And part of the way I'm able to do that is with the dreamrare.com shop and patreon.com/raretalk. So thank you guys for keeping this show free, unimpeded, uninterrupted. I'm forever grateful. My free email list is stayintouchwithme.com. So check the links below in the description or just type in on any browser, stayintouchwithme.com, all one word. You'll find my email list, put it in there, and it's the least annoying email list you'll ever be on. I barely use it because I don't like getting emailed every day or every week. It's annoying. so I don't do it. Stayintouchwithme.com. It helps me take back some power away from big tech. Telegram, t.me/DreamRareChat or @DreamRareChat. Due to censorship, I post all my live stream and videos there. Sometimes I have some bonus content, and I try to give people a heads up when Facebook or YouTube won't. DreamRareChat at Telegram. My Instagram is @DreamRare. Thanks for everybody following there for shorter content. And DreamRareLinks.com, that's DreamRareLinks.com, has all my stuff. My podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, my music on Spotify and Apple, my Rumble page, my BitChute and Gab page. All my links are found at DreamRareLinks.com. Thanks for watching, folks. God bless you. You already know I'll be back with more content soon.